Hello and welcome to the Place to Place podcast. I'm Claire Dewhurst, the Director of City Nation Place, which is the forum for place brands and place marketing. The idea behind this podcast series is to create a chain of conversations between place branding leaders to give you the opportunity to listen in to honest conversations about their challenges, the solutions they're finding, and the opportunities they're exploring to ensure that their place brand strategies deliver real economic benefits. We're really thrilled that you've chosen to tune in, and I hope you enjoy the discussions. And so for this episode, I'd like to welcome back Marius Gurskas, who is the Director of Communications with the Government of Lithuania. Lovely to see you again, Marius. And Marius has asked us to connect him with the team responsible for the I Feel Slovenia Nation brand platform. I think he admires the longevity of the brand and has lots of interesting questions about how having such a strongly established platform helps with stakeholder engagement and helps the country respond to crises and opportunities. So it's my delight to introduce and welcome Karmen Novarlic, who is the head of the Business Communications Department with the Slovenian Tourism Board. Welcome to the Place to Place podcast, Karmen. I'm very much looking forward to your conversation. I think that aside from the love of the colour green in your joint and your mutual branding, you have many other things in common. So I'm very happy to hand over to you, Marius, for the next chain in this conversation.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me back. It's a great pleasure and honor to be here. And I'm really looking forward to talking with Karmen, who is head of Department Business Communication of Slovenian Tourist Board. Hello, Karmen.
Hello, Marius.
Karmen, talking about the country branding as a coherent process and seeking results, obviously it's not enough to have only government institutions such as agencies or tourist boards or other institutions which are responsible for country branding on board. It's obvious that we have to have business as well. So stakeholders' successful involvement into countries' branding activity is a key factor for brand to survive and bring results. I'm wondering, what is Slovenia's story so far dealing with stakeholders? Is there any specific strategy? What is the most challenging seeking to have on board key stakeholders?
Yeah, so the I Feel Slovenia is, of course, Slovenia's country brand. We use it to present ourselves abroad, for strengthening our visibility, our position, reputation, and of course, influence in the international arena. But what is important is that it's helping us really to increase the tourist visits, so to attract more direct foreign investments and so on. And the whole brand identity is based on the story of our premises. So our vision is a green boutique country. And our mission here it is very clear, to move forward with nature. So the sustainable development, innovative mass creativity. And what comes then, it's how, of course, to encourage all the stakeholders widely in the economic fields, in sport, in culture, in diplomacy, and in tourism within the stakeholders to jump aboard. So I have to say that really after years so since the brand has been launched, so from 2007, we have great results as the major Slovenia destinations are part of this extraordinary, very well done network. So that means that as a tourist destination, Slovenia is always represented through this I Feel Slovenia in cooperation with the whole tourism ecosystem. So that means that the story of Slovenia told by the brand is one of the love of nature, commitment to preserving the pristine environment, remarkable diversity, but always in connection with the 4 micro-regions that we have, within the Alps, the Mediterranean, the Pannonian Plain, and the interior part of Slovenia, plus Ljubljana, the capital. The story is told and in connection with the 35 leading destinations, as well as with all the tourism product associations, plus business community. So that means that our brand is so strong. We have and sharing same values, same vision of the country's development. So those are the premises on which we are reinforcing our brand year by year.
Okay, it's great to hear that, just you have so much stakeholders on board. That's really important, seeking results. But you have mentioned, Carmen, that you have a strong brand. That means that kind of you have a system in which you can measure the brand activities or how strong the brand is. So we're talking about a branding activities measurement, and of course, without the measurement, we can't say that whether our activities bring result or not. So we have and must measure our activities. How do you evaluate your branding activities success? And what is the answer for decision makers in Slovenia, for example, when they ask what we can expect investing into Slovenia's branding?
Yeah, for this podcast edition, I've decided to present the results of the important Twitter Amplified Tour de France Global Digital Campaign of last year. So sport is in our nature. We are known, especially in the last years, as a very winning nation. Together with our cyclists, for this precisely, I would say, campaign that I would like to present today, we decided that through our cyclists, we have a chance to put Slovenia on the global map. Of course, our way, with a variety of video content on Twitter, as we identified that 91% of all the Twitter audience is very much interested in travel. So we launched this Twitter Amplified Tour de France campaign. It was carried out by Slovenian Tourist Board and in cooperation with Tour de France organizers. We've been awarded for the second place by the UK's Association Excellency Award at that time. So as the Twitter and Tour de France is a live tweet spectacle, of course, every year, we've presented from where the cyclist phenomena are coming from Slovenia. We presented Slovenia as a very sporting and as a very outdoor destination. And we had really great KPIs beyond any expectations as we reached 12 million views, 83,000 clicks on our web portal, slovenia.info, 110,000 interactions in really huge countries, destinations as the USA, but extremely very positive interactions in the European countries, the neighboring ones, as Austria, Italy, Hungary, UK, and many others. And we recorded 60% of view rate. So great results. At the end, we lost the big race, but nevertheless, with such results, we were really extremely, very positively influenced by this campaign. And as I mentioned, we really created KPIs. We recorded KPIs beyond any expectation.
Well, thank you very much, Carmen. I have to admit that I've seen this ads advertisement campaign, and it impressed me a lot, actually, how you used very wisely, I would say, the content and, at the right time. It was such a great activity talking about the country branding.
I hope you're enjoying this conversation and learning a little from these examples of branding and marketing ideas that are being shared by Marius and Karmen. At City Nation Place, we're very excited to have once again opened the entries to the City Nation Place Awards, the only specialist place brand and marketing awards which bring together inspirational case studies from around the world. You can have your strategies and campaigns reviewed by our global jury of place brand practitioners. Being a finalist or a winner is a great way to demonstrate to your stakeholders that you're delivering work that's admired and work that is effective. The entry deadline is the 7th of September 2023, and the winners will be announced at the Global Conference on the 8th and 9th of November in London. All the information on the categories and how to enter is available at citynationplace.com.
So, okay, we just have been talking so far, of the importance, how it's important to engage with stakeholders, with key stakeholders. Then, how it is important to measure what we are doing actually as a practitioners. But I think that you might agree with me that brand as a product, it takes time to develop, but also takes time to adapt to the changing circumstances. For example, brands needs to react and adapt to changing context, whether it be some kind of security challenges such as COVID-19 or Russia's brutal invasion to Ukraine, or maybe global financial turmoil when marketing budget comes first to reduction. So what is Slovenia's brand experience in adapting to the changes?
Yeah, past experiences has shown that even small countries like Slovenia can secure a prominent position through their representation, especially with such a national brand. So in our case, I have to admit that it has been shown and proven that the national brand certainly has a significant impact on the country's emotional appeal. But especially we are pleased to have preserved and strengthened the brand despite the very turbulent times. So between the 2007, since the brand has been launched, and present day Slovenia, as the wider world, we've been affected by many international crises, even this and last year. But however, this has made us even more solid and so we have survived an epidemic, but it has turned out that the I Feel Slovenia brand has stood the test of time. And this is important because having such great values and identity that still holds true and shares still more than relevant today. So we are proud to have done such a good job in designing the brand in the first place, but we need to be aware that such a national brand also defines, first of all, key values. And one of our values in our efforts to achieve business goals is responsibility. And secondly, the vision of the country's development. We want to invest in activities in which we excel while supporting innovativeness, creativity, knowledge, Slovenia's comparative advantages. But especially or extremely important is to have a clear vision. And our vision is, with a niche economic orientation, create great circular economy, and within we support technological development while taking nature into account. So, and we are again at the initial stage of the brand, which is the I Feel Slovenia, which is closely connected to our story and philosophy, which is behind the clear vision of a green boutique country to move forward with nature, sustainable development. So the nature is always around us. So I think that if the values, the responsibilities, and the clear vision are the key components of very, I would say, successful branding activities.
I completely agree with you, Carmen, that this is necessity to have a clear vision and to know what is behind your brand, key values. And actually just a short, actually example from Lithuania. When we had started to build the brand 5 years ago, we just trying to find, our angle, what our role as a country could be on a global arena. And we just, after 3 or 4 years cooperation with the various stakeholders, we just agreed that, okay, now we are like our mission and it will be to co-create with the world, to co-create solutions, global solutions. And afterwards, last year, we just found out that we can adapt actually our brand. And now we just started with a co-brand, which sounds co-creation of Ukraine. It is related with rebuilding the Ukraine. So this is the example how countries and how country brands can adapt actually to the existing circumstances and how they could just feel what is going on in the global arena. Okay, so let's move to Lithuania and Slovenia. Actually, those two countries are quite very similar in comparison with the size of people living there, and both are crazy of being green. Both
Yeah.
use this color, green color, as a visual branding attribute. And of course, both love basketball. We know that. So what would be your suggestion for Lithuania seeking to attract more tourists, investment, talents?
Mhm. Yeah. You're definitely right. So we have quite a lot in common, and I'm very positive, especially about those green facts. So we have, especially, we say Slovenian green, which symbolizes the basis of the Eiffel Slovenia brand in a manner. I think that both of us, we have this, or we are trying to connect, let's say, the balance between the calmness of nature and diligence of our people, and we are both having great unspoiled nature, but extreme determination to keep it that way by planning our development sustainably. So, in the best possible organic way. I have really to congratulate you, Marius, because in the last time we've been very positively influenced by your Lithuania travel new campaign, which is in a manner complemented by artificial intelligence. So the campaign itself is a result of co-creation, a creative process involving skilled designers and creative also IA tool. So you've created a marvelous campaign together with these artificial intelligence tools, and it is in a manner the message that you're trying to share of the campaign, Lithuania, an experience to share, but in a very different kind of, in your way, I would say. You are inviting travelers to co-create their own experiences together with Lithuania, to co-create several images with the artificial intelligence help. So I think it's a completely new way of approach, and congratulations for this. As you're trying, to inspire, I would say, travelers to be even more inspirational, trying to connect the beauties of Lithuania through this artificial intelligence way, to communicate the past, the future, and the real time. So, what I would add maybe to this, as we are also the National Tourist Board very much, I would say, technology-wise oriented, maybe as an add-on, I would add a special add-on on having or choosing, let's say, the best images after this first year of this incredible campaign of Lithuania. And I would make a special collection of NFTs. So in this manner, you would connect this marvelous digital campaign within blockchain technology. So I think the way that Lithuania has chosen is the right one, is a very fresh oriented campaign. And you should continue in this manner, because I think that really combining digital with present life and emotions and creating different surreal images is something that the artificial intelligence is bringing, is refreshing everything. And I think that also the artificial intelligence is here to stay. And those tools have really changed the way we see forever.
Karmen, thank you very much for your warm words towards, our campaign, Travel Lithuania, and your sharing your experience. Actually, we are very happy because co-create experience is our latest move, how we engage with our stakeholders. And now we have on board and tourism board as well. So now we have a full package for country branding, joining us Lithuania Travel. So thank you very much. It was a great pleasure to talk with you. And I have to say that I just discovered Slovenia and how it's beautiful country. And now I think that we could share in the future what we are doing. It also very helped us, move forward. And thank you, City Nation Place Branding, for such an opportunity to talk with you. And I hope that our podcast listeners, will discover as well Lithuania and Slovenia and what we're doing in presenting our countries abroad. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The pleasure was all mine.
Thank you so much, Marius, and thank you so much, Carmen. I hope you've enjoyed this opportunity to chat with each other. I've certainly learned more about both of your nation brands. I had no idea that Slovenia was the first nation to issue NFTs to celebrate your strengths in tourism and economic development. You learn something every day. We look forward to chatting with you, Karmen, to see who you would like to meet on the next episode of Place to Place. And we look forward to welcome our listeners back to the next chain of this conversation. Thank you.